The multiple intelligence theory has been one thing that I've seen be very impactful on students' lives and teachers as well. But to work with students of all ages and once they understand how their brain works has always been amazing to me. And for them to start using the language of multiple intelligences was always important to me to see that happen. I always really stressed with my staffs and faculties and students things that I had heard and learned over time about multiple intelligences. And then in 2015, I was fortunate enough to get to hear Howard Gardner himself speak about the things that bother him about the misconceptions and the way people use the MIs. So I'm going to share a little bit about that and what I heard him say. So one of the things he shared was that he really is bothered when people equate multiple intelligences with learning styles. And he really reiterated what I'd heard early on about the two, is that learning styles are outside of you. They're how we take information in. So if you think about like a computer keyboard that you type on, that's inputting something. And so the idea of listening and seeing and feeling, those are all inputs that come to our brain. But multiple intelligences themselves are the processors. So like in your computer, there are things happening to make sense of the information coming in. And that's exactly what MIs do in our brain, is that they make sense of information through various ways that the brain processes. So it is intelligence. It is about the brain itself. And then the other thing he said was he really does not like it when people use it as labels or try to interpret it as talent, so to speak. So in other words, he really reiterated that we all have all of these because the brain is the function of intelligence. So it's there. It's just that sometimes we use different ones in a strength way and some are being used in a more weak way, but they are all there for all of us. It's not about musicians only have music smarts or that environmentalists or biologists have nature smarts. It's the fact that we all use all of them. And in fact, your biologist or environmentalist may have and be utilizing a lot of, say, music smarts or self-smart to do the work that they do. So it's really about the application and understanding of the world around us. So I think those were the two biggest takeaways I got from him and that I really like to stress because I've known people who've gotten hung up on MIs, that they just think it's learning styles and it's putting people in boxes. And he really stressed it is not an inventory to put people in boxes or to rate them or grade them in some way, but really to understand our own minds and processing and help us become better learners because of understanding it. And hearing him say that was amazing to me because that's what I saw happening with kids whenever we approached the MIs appropriately, that the students began to understand that they were smart, that the others around them were smart, and that they just processed differently at different times, and that they all used all of them, and that some of them were a stretch, and it helped them want to grow. So those are the things that I gleaned from Howard Gardner and getting to hear him personally. And it just really reinforced for me the power of the multiple intelligences and that we have to use them correctly and understand them and really dig into them in that way and not try to make them something they're not.